Looking for a quick and easy dinner tonight? If you have some leftover rice and leftover roast chicken sitting in the fridge, you have come to the right place. Today I'm going to show you how to turn those simple leftovers into a delicious homemade chicken fried rice that's packed with flavor and ready in minutes. This recipe is perfect for busy weeknights, helps reduce food waste, and it's great way to give yesterday's roast chicken a whole new life. With a few fresh ingredients and simple seasoning, you will have satisfying meal with whole family will enjoy. Here I have two chicken breasts that have been sliced in half and cooked in water with a little salt, pepper and turmeric. I have 5 eggs, some spring onions, picked straight from my garden, a couple of grated carrots, one chopped onion, some freshly chopped ginger and garlic. For seasoning, we will need salt to taste, 1 teaspoon of chili flakes, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, and 1.5 teaspoon of sesame oil. I have roasted sesame oil, that's why it's a lot darker. And of course, the star of the recipe leftover cooked rice. You can use as much as rice you like, depending on how many people you are serving, and oil to fry these things. First of all, I am adding a couple of tablespoons of oil to a large pan over medium high heat. Once the oil is hot, I am adding the cooked chicken. The chicken is already fully cooked, but I like to give a quick seal in the pan. This helps add a little color, a slightly crispy texture, and extra flavor. Cook the chicken for a few minutes, stirring occasionally until it develops beautiful golden color on the outside. This simple step makes a big difference and gives the chicken that delicious fried rice flavor we are looking for. Now it's time to start cooking our fried rice. I am adding about 1.5 tablespoon of oil to my wok and heat it over medium high heat. Once the oil is hot, we are ready to start adding our ingredients and building those delicious fried rice flavor. First, I have added a chopped garlic and ginger to the hot oil and let them fry for a couple of minutes until they become fragrant. Then I push them to a side of the wok and crack my 5 eggs. Now I am scrambling the eggs, breaking them up to a small pieces as they cook. Once the eggs are mostly cooked through, I add chopped onion and grated carrot. Everything gets mixed together in a wok, allowing the vegetables to soften slightly while still keeping it with texture and crunch. At this stage, the kitchen is already smelling amazing, and we are building the perfect flavor base for our homemade chicken fried rice. You could add onion together with the garlic and ginger at the beginning, but personally I prefer not to cook the onion for too long. I like the onion to keep little crunch and freshness, that's why I add later along with the grated carrots. I have added soy sauce, chili flakes, and black pepper. These simple seasoning add plenty of flavor and give the fried rice classic savory taste. Next, I add the shredded chicken back into the wok. Give everything a good mix. making sure the chicken, vegetable, eggs, and seasoning are evenly combined. This allows all those delicious flavors to come together before we add the rice. At this point, the fried rice is already cooked, looking colorful, fragrant, and absolutely delicious. Now we are almost finished. The last ingredient I am adding is a little sesame oil. Sesame oil adds a wonderful aroma and flavor, so I like to add it right at the end to preserve its taste. Once that's mixed through, I turn the heat off. Now I am adding my fresh spring onions. I am only using about half of them for now and saving the rest for the garnishing later. The residual heat from the fried rice will slightly soften the spring onion while keeping their fresh flavor and bright color. Give everything one final mix and our homemade chicken fried rice is ready to serve. Before we finish, here are my important tips for making the best fried rice at home. First, choose a good rice. My personal favorite is basmati rice because it stays fluffy and the grains separate beautifully when fried. However, you can also use samba rice or other varieties if that's what you have available. Second, choose the right oil. I don't recommend in using olive oil or coconut oil for fried rice. For the best flavor, use neutral vegetable oil such as canola or sunflower oil. Third, don't overcook your vegetables. Keep your onions and vegetables slightly crunchy and fresh. Fried rice should be colorful and full of texture. If you cook the vegetable for too long, they lose their color, freshness, and natural sweetness. Another important tip is how you prepare the chicken. When making chicken fried rice, avoid using heavily fried or deep fried chicken pieces. They often become dry and don't add much flavor to the rice. Instead, cook the chicken gently, keep the moisture inside, and slightly seal for the color. As you saw in the recipe, I cooked the chicken first, gave it a quick seal, and then shredded into pieces. And finally, never add the sesame oil and spring onion too early. Always add them at the very end of cooking after turning off the heat. This helps preserve the wonderful aroma of the sesame oil and keep the spring onion fresh, vibrant, and colorful. Follow this simple step and you will be able to make delicious flavorful fried rice that tastes just as good as or even better than your favorite takeaway. Thank you for watching and enjoy your homemade chicken fried rice.